Ready to ignite your potential? The Motivation Plus Marketing Podcast, hosted and founded by John Di Lemme with a 25-plus year track record in the success world. This podcast cuts through the noise to deliver fundamental, powerful insights for real success. Every episode features top performers answering 5 powerful questions, revealing their strategies for overcoming procrastination, hitting their biggest goals, and sharing their top marketing tips. Get ready to turn your motivation and marketing into momentum. Let's dive in.
Well, hello, champions. Welcome to the Motivation Plus Marketing Podcast, the 5 Questions to Success series. And first off, thank you for being a listener, for taking notes, for sharing, and for being into development, for being into personal development to make you a better person, to serve others. And whatever time of day it is, great day, great afternoon, great weekend. We appreciate you. And I'm excited today to bring to you not only I consider one of a tremendous champion, incredible individual, but a great personal friend of Christy and I, a great personal friend. Allow me to read you his professional bio, and then I will give you my personal bio. Kevin Tacher, entrepreneur, speaker, and philanthropist. Kevin Tacher, also known as the Title King, is the founder and CEO of Independence Title. Kevin is a best-selling author and national real estate speaker, featured on Fox News and NBC as well. For his personal appearances, Kevin has shared the stage with some of the country's best real estate and motivational speakers. Kevin and his team have worked with the FBI, Florida's Attorney General, as well as several local, state, and federal agencies to uncover real estate fraud across the state of Florida. And Kevin, as many of you know, all of you as in a real estate world, as you know, I've retired from speaking, coaching, and training, and I am the director of marketing for my awesome wife, Christy Di Lemme. As I say, Florida's finest professional realtor, home staging designer, creating excellence, serving all of our great family of homeowners. And obviously, the only title company we utilize is Independence Title with Kevin. Kevin is a incredible person, incredible husband, incredible father, incredible servant, and I'm excited today for all of you to really get to know Kevin. Plus, I'm excited for you to hear his answers to the 5 Questions to Success. So, Kevin Tacher, welcome to the 5 Questions to Success series.
Thank you, John. Appreciate being here. And obviously, as you said, we've been friends for a long time. I've been following you for a long time. I always loved your clients. Now I love them even more because it makes me some money, and we get to do a lot of business together.
Sure.
So I'm excited. Let's go.
And I'm excited about, because as you saw me speak many years ago at all the events, one thing I stand on is integrity, honor, values. And in this world, the real estate world is a very unique world. And that's why, share with everyone a little bit more about your background as quote unquote the Title King. And then we'll, as you heard on the intro for all of you, we're going to turn your motivation, I'm going to turn your marketing into momentum and ignite your potential. So, Kevin, kind of expand upon your background a little bit before we dig into and I ask you the questions. I'm looking forward to the answers.
Yeah, absolutely. So Title King is basically branded by our friend Double D, gave it to me, David Dweck, just because I go above and beyond in everything that I do. And so roll back before I was lived down in Florida. I was a firefighter up in New York, and I learned many years ago that firefighters do something really well together. They go in to these crazy emergency situations, and they won't leave unless they have all of their brothers and sisters with them. And we instill that into what we do today, into the title company, and we make sure that we go in these deals together. And as you know from personal experience, when deals get a little crazy, the Title King has to step in and resolve them. And at the end of the day, we got to get that deal across the finish line. And that's what I've been known for. And I do it very well because we know all title companies are great when everything is good. And then as soon as something goes wrong, they walk away. You put them up against the wall and they don't know what to do. They run scared. So we take a different philosophy, and we just love to jump in that deal and figure out, like, how do we all accomplish what we're here to do, right? Everyone wants to get paid. We want to get paid. The real estate agents want to get paid. The buyers and sellers want to get paid. The lender wants their money. Everyone wants to get the deal closed. And if we take a forward-thinking approach to things, we're going to get those deals closed. And as you know, we've done that with many deals that, issues come up. we resolve them. We don't say no. We say, how can we get this done? What could we do to solve this problem? And that's where the Title King came from, because I don't stop until I get the deal closed. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I will give all my effort to make sure we do everything we can to do that.
Because what's behind all of the quote unquote, as we say, title and properties is people. And as many of you know, and we'll dig into the questions now, is, why I love real estate. And you met me many years ago through David. I was obviously always involved. It's interesting, Chris and I have been married 21 years coming up, April of 2026. And we got married on a Saturday. That Thursday, I actually spoke at Brick. That Thursday evening, and David actually gave me a wedding gift walking up the aisle. I think it was at the Marriott Hotel in Boca Raton. So I've always loved real estate. I've always promoted real estate. I believe it's the greatest asset one could own. And behind every property is a family. As you know, it's all about people. It's family, grandchildren. Like we just got and we'll be doing a title for it. Someone here, we got a call today where someone's dad passed away. As you know, my wife is an incredible stager and designer, and we'll be taking over the property. Loss of a loved one, we'll be staging it, designing it. And I said to her, I said, look, your family is now in our hands, our entire team. And Kevin and Title King is obviously part of our team. And behind every property is a heart, a family, a grandchild, a grandson, a husband, a father, a cousin. And with so much stress and anxiety and worry in this world, that's what's exciting, to have the right people on your team. And that's something we've been speaking about for, years. As you've written many books, and I've been now famous for saying I've written 23 books before AI. I actually authored books and wrote them, and in all the books, it's all about value, honor, integrity, treating people like family, and caring about people for a long-term relationship. So here we go. All the listeners, all of you know, and we're excited about the new series, the relaunch in the Motivation Plus Marketing Podcast series. And thank you for all of you subscribe. However you listen to the podcast, there's now, when I first began podcasting, it was a handful of platforms. Now there's platforms everywhere, and we're on every platform. So the 5 questions to success. Grab a pen that writes, everyone. Take some notes. As you know, note takers are history makers. And this is the old school fundamentals. Grab some notes. Grab a piece of paper, take some notes, and activate your wisdom. So, Kevin, the first question of the 5, how to overcome procrastination. So, Mr. Tacher, please answer. So, I ask you, Kevin, how to overcome procrastination? What's your
I think, from a business perspective, it's great for people to, I like it of never saying no, like just constantly trying to figure out, like you said, putting people over profit. So really just figuring out, we get in our own way sometimes, but really where that comes in, and I do a lot in the gym, I'm into fitness a lot. Today I'm going to be, I was working out 5 a.m. this morning, and I'll be out rucking with a big group of people 6 o'clock tonight. And one of the things is, like, people always put things off thinking, I'll get to it later, I'll get to it tomorrow. And our good friend David walks in my office all the time. He's like, I don't understand how your office is so clean, organized, neat. And it's like, because I make lists of things I need to do. I don't procrastinate. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to start my diet, I'm going to start my diet. I'm going to do my cold plunge, I'm going to get in my cold plunge. Like, if you know you need to do something, just do it. Stop waiting and putting it off, because all that does is then it snowballs into 2 things that you haven't done and 3 things that you have done, and then at the end of the day you do nothing. And that's how I've built a successful business for 22 plus years. I've been doing this, and they say 5 years if you're in business, you got a good business. 10 years, you know what you're doing. When you start getting into 2 decades, clearly there's something that's working that the competition doesn't know. And again, these aren't hidden secrets. These are things that you and I both share publicly. It just, the competition doesn't do it. They don't have what it takes. So, people sit, we reference David a lot because we're both good friends with him. But, he says all the time, you sit on your rusty dusty and you don't do anything. And it's about just saying, you know what, today I'm going to go out, I'm going to go walk. Maybe I can't ruck, but I'm going to walk. Or maybe I can't wear a weighted vest, but I'm just going to come walk with the group. And then you get out. Or going in the gym, it's the same thing. Maybe I can't run 3 miles, but I'll run 1 mile. Maybe I can't run 1 mile, I'll walk 1 mile. Whatever I got to do is I'm going to set a goal, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to accomplish that goal. And then next day, set another goal, or next week. And I always talk about, when I coach a lot of real estate agents as well, as I tell them, like, set 1 month goals, 3 month goals, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. Don't set too many people are focused on, like, my New Year's resolution, and they're looking towards the end of the year already. Set short-term goals that you can actually accomplish, that are realistic.
Well, that's going right into the second question. Number one secret to hitting your biggest goals. Let it rip, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I mean, I teach people SMART goals, right? They got to have SMART goals that will tell you, like, I need to be able to make sure that I can accomplish these goals. So many people set big goals that aren't realistic. In SMART, the R is realistic, right? They're just not realistic. They're too big. They're things that I'm never going to be able to accomplish. So, I do a lot of goal setting, and I teach people goal setting, and I say you need to set small, achievable goals that have a time restraint on them. So I will cold plunge 3 times this week. I will network. I will go to 4 networking events this month, and write the goals down, put them on a vision board, put them on a dry erase board, put them in a business plan. Somewhere you need to have these goals. I did some coaching the other day with a small group of real estate entrepreneurs, and I'm trying to tell them, like, do you have a written business plan? Nope. Do you have a written vision and a mission statement of where you're looking to go? No. Do you know how many events you're going to go to, how many people you need to talk to? No. So for those that are listening, in every aspect of your life, you need to set realistic goals. Don't set goals that you can't accomplish, and don't set goals that are too far out. Little wins accomplish a big empire. So set little goals, even if it's 1 day goals. Here's what I'm going to do in the next 24 to 48 hours, and accomplish it. And then add 2 or 3 more, and add 2 or 3 more. And eventually the goals become habits, and the habits are just your normal routine to become successful.
Everyone listening, as you know, I give the recap of this is tremendous. And Kevin said how to overcome procrastination, make it a list. Everyone grab a pen that writes. And we're going old school. This is an audio podcast. I listen to my podcast either driving or working out. We're going back to old school fundamentals. And Kevin, as you know, I believe one of my jobs at 4 jobs going through college, and I was the only one in my family. As you know, my family came from Italy, the whole Italian immigrant story, legal Italian immigrant story in regards to, getting educated, had 4 jobs, worked really hard, quote unquote. And one of them was I was a fitness trainer at Jack LaLanne, and I met Jack LaLanne 3 times. And Jack said, no matter what you do, eat live food, drink water, swim, row, push-ups or pull-ups. And I remember when Nautilus came out, he went at it about the pec deck destroys the core. You're sitting down and was going wild about. And I remember the word fundamental. This is why I made a decision to relaunch this series, and as you can see, you can be listening to this a year from now. And you've seen all the guests I've handpicked, and I handpicked Kevin, because I know Kevin personally and professionally, and 20 plus years successful in business. And he said something very powerful: make a list. I'm going to reiterate that. I'm a checklist person. Make a list and check it off. And then for his goals, realistic goals. As you know, many of you know my first book, New Year's resolutions, is a joke, because a New Year's is a new day. Something else Kevin said is a habit. Now, the word habit is a behavior pattern. How you behave, what is your pattern? So it's so important. Something else Kevin says, achievable goals. The word achievement is gained by effort. So I challenge all of you, question 1, question 2, look at your list. Are your goals realistic? Start a new behavior pattern. Start moving. Walk a half a mile. Increase your hydration. Increase your outgoing calls. When my wife takes over a property, like we're taking over a property tomorrow, that we just crossed the dotted the I. We're very proud to feature a new property. This will be probably the greatest staging transformation, and something you said earlier, Kevin, in your bio, you talk about fraud, where as well as several local, state, and federal agencies to uncover real estate fraud across the state of Florida. As all of you know, this is something we stay on. My wife's staging is all real furniture, real decor, and everybody lives on AI. AI can't make you move. AI can't make a list for you. AI can't make you pick up that phone. Fundamentals, people, fundamentals. Kevin, phenomenal. Achievable goals, realistic goals, vision board, make a list. Jack LaLanne would say, it's like a push-up. It's always going to produce. Number 3, Kevin, question for a 5 And I'm getting fired up. I get so excited because success is so simple. And once again, I want to reiterate this. You, everyone listening right now, you are listening to this. You are taking notes, not your family, not your friends. You know, I'm about to hit based upon when you're hearing this, I'll be 60 years young. Either I'm 60 now or turning 60 here shortly. And in my decades of teaching success and being around just this world for so many years, I've seen people, the number one reason why people don't succeed is because they stay around the same people. You want to quit smoking, get away from smokers, get around healthy people. Difficulty here for people who smoke, but you want to achieve success, get away from people, and you're listening to this. You are listening to this now, and I know that's speaking to someone right now because however you got to this podcast, this is very important because it's your future, it's your decisions today, your habits. So, Kevin, question number 3, which is very powerful. What's your favorite success quote, please?
Yeah, I mean, so it goes into, it leads into books and stuff too. A while back, I mentored under a fine, amazing gentleman who I know you've met, Bob Berg, who lives just north of you up in Jupiter, Florida. Great, humble guy. And he says, all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to those people they first know, they have to like, and most importantly, trust. So all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to those people they know, like, and trust. I've built a by referral only business. I don't do much marketing except social media, just more for branding to my own clients to stay top of mind. But at the end of the day, it's business to business is my business, and building relationships. That's why you see 20 years later, you guys now love doing business with us. You didn't have the opportunity 20 years ago. You're in a different business. And now that you have that opportunity, I'm top of mind of people because I've done business. You know me, you like me, you trust me, and you say, you know what, that's the person we want to do business with. So I do encourage those that are listening. If you build a business based on those 3 principles, nobody will want to do business with your competition.
You know, I was actually interviewed earlier today on a podcast that's being released in January from in a business success world. And I said, you know, many people know I'm very into health. And I said, look, organic is way better than processed. And organic business is built from what you just said. It's organically grown. Process is AI, fraudulent, fake reviews, fake testimonials, fake pictures. That's processed. Ultra-processed food will kill you. It will also kill your business. I know I'm the interviewer. I'm just sharing a little additional wisdom here. When your business is organic and it's based upon referrals and organic and being passionate about what you do and being excited. You know, I interviewed a great friend of mine, Brad, from Nevada. Many of you may have heard the episode by now. And Brad said, you'll never procrastinate when you're passionate about your mission. When you're passionate, as you know, Kevin, I was speaking on the real estate for years, always passionate. And I said, when I make a decision to, I don't want to say retire, but conclude the chapter of my life of traveling the world. And it was really when my mom fell ill 3.5 years ago, Chris and I made a decision to say, you know what, because I was consulting for a real estate company for 13 years, as you know. I said, we're going to build our passion. And obviously now the story's unfolded and obviously the success is spoken there. So it's so important to understand and talk about make a list. As you mentioned, Bob Berg. You know what I did, Kevin? I went to my list of podcast guests, and I added Bob Berg. I'm going to reach out to Bob to have him on here as one of the experts for the 5 Questions to Success podcast. So I have a list of guests that I'm reaching out to, and it's just so important, going back to what you said, make a list. This is fundamentals, organic, trust, and then ultimately you have to ask yourself a question. Can you trust yourself to follow through? Can you trust yourself to provide the service that you share and you speak about? Can you trust yourself not to do 64 things at once and get focused? So we're excited today, and we're right on time, too. You know, keeping the podcast 30 minutes or so, Kevin, we're right on. And when Christy goes, oh, you and Thatch are going to go for 3 hours. I said, no, we're going to go 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Have my wife, I just heard her speaking about you to someone right before we start the podcast because she's we have someone, obviously, you know, in Florida, when you represent someone to purchase a home, the title company is chosen by, you know, the quote-unquote who's featuring a home, and we actually may have a surprise for you. Somebody we're making an offer on a home, and they're dissatisfied with the title company. So Christy was actually giving out your information to someone earlier today, actually about an hour ago. We'll talk about that. So it's exciting. So I love that. I love what the trust factor. Remember, because inside the word trust, the center letter is you. You have to trust yourself first before people can trust in other words, you have to trust yourself before people can trust you to be who you
Right.
are. Fourth question on the 5 questions to success Motivation Plus Marketing podcast series is your top marketing tip, Kevin. What's your top marketing tip?
Top marketing tip, again, goes back to the quote, goes back to everything we talked about. It's relationships. Like you need to treat your relationships like they are gold. You do anything you can to maintain them, to grow them, to honor them. As you know, we go back and think about the military, and the firefighters and police officers, what they do. Like they have each other's back. And I think if you think of that code of honor, we call it like the brotherhood honor, that we would do anything we can to make sure our clients succeed. We do the right thing. We treat them with respect. I think at the end of the day, relationships is the number one marketing tip I have. You can use all the AI you want, all the email marketing you want, phone calls. If there's no relationship, if you don't build upon that relationship, your business will fail. And when I coach people, I tell them, how often are you reaching out? Like I talk to you, John, sometimes a couple times a week, but at least once a week. We're communicating one way, shape, or form. And that's what people need to do. Stay in constant communication. Pick up the phone, send a text message, send an email. We talked about sending the book today. Send a little gift to let people know you're thinking of them, you heard them, you're listening to them. These little things build upon these relationships, and relationship marketing is what wins every time over any of it.
All the time. Marketing tip, relationship marketing, and inside the word relationship is relate. A relationship is built one experience at a time, and one experience, and it's so important in this day and age. And that's the whole goal behind why I chose to release the Pure Business Motivation Plus Marketing podcast series, the 5 questions to success, because I see so many people, and someone who's obviously been around the success world. I mean, I'm looking here on my desk, and I have my first cassette tape called The Sport of Sales and Marketing. It's a sport, and there's professionals, and professionals train hours upon hours upon hours for that split-second play. And in life right now, that's what it is about relationship building. So that's phenomenal. So everyone, ask yourself a question: what am I doing today? What am I doing today to increase and improve and reinforce and strengthen my relationships that will assist me to achieve my personal goals in business? And
I'll tell people what people should be doing is utilize AI, calendaring, some type of journaling to make sure you're holding yourself accountable, so you make it a goal to build the relationship better. So I don't want you to say, some people are like, well, I just don't know what to do. Well, document, utilize AI, figure out what can I do to build upon a relationship with my client. And now you start making lists of people you need to reach out to. So maybe every day you say, I'm going to reach out to one person. And eventually it just becomes a habit. But for those of you that could procrastinate because it may seem overwhelming, utilize the AI technology we have to give you a little boost of things that you can do and how you do it. And then you start implementing, planting these little seeds. The more seeds you plant, the bigger your farm is going to grow.
That's right. It's so important what Kevin just said. It's something I do every day. I have on my checklist calls. I make 3 outgoing calls every day. Every day. I just shared because this podcast I was on, it's going to be released, and because some people say that I was interviewed with because obviously in my past life, I've shared a stage with Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Mark Victor Hansen, Bob Bird, Bob Proctor. And I reached out to a great friend, Omar Perry, you also to be a guest in this podcast series. And they asked me, what's the fundamentals of success? I said, put everything to the side, 3 calls a day, make a list, outgoing calls, 3 calls a day, phone calls, pick up the phone, have people authentically hear the passion in your voice. And people go, well, I don't like my voice. Well, start liking it. It's coaching time. It's time to realize this is where we're at. And I'm excited about that. What you said, Kevin. It's so important about the communication. And then
something to remember also is the only person that doesn't like your voice is you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people say
the only person that doesn't like your voice is you. You don't like it. You're the only one that doesn't like it, though. The other people love it. You just don't realize it. You beat yourself up.
Some people say I have a New York accent. I don't really hear it at all.
I love it.
It's awesome. It's actually, my accent's actually decreased. This is a very moving month. As you know, I was very close with my dad, and it had coming up to a year in his passing, and that's one thing. My dad, I actually have him. I actually have him my right here on my desk. I'm looking at my dad had 3 family calls every day. I'm looking at his checklist. I'll take a picture and send it to you, Kevin. He's got 3 calls. Who he called? His nieces, his nephews. Who he called? Every day, my dad called people. Old school. And it's so powerful because I believe the world's coming back. People, always ask. Obviously, the success we're having and what we do. It's because we treat people real. We care about people. We treat everyone. You're really hearing me call people a client. You're really hearing me use the word, price. It's about what the property is being offered at, what feature in the property. It's a family. It's so important. And I want everyone to really hear that, to care about people. It's okay to care about people. Number 5, the 5th question. We're right on track time-wise, which is great, which is awesome. So we will prove, Christy, that we can stick on our schedule when we're talking. The 5th and final question for the 5 questions to success is the one book that changed it all for Mr. Kevin Tacher. What's your favorite book, Kevin?
I'm going to give you 2 if it's okay, only because we've been doing business for 2 decades. So I'm going to give you 2. The first one's the easy one. Bob Berg's book, The Go-Giver, changed my life 2 decades ago. But I learned so much since then, right? So that was a book 20 years ago that taught me about the 5 laws of stratospheric success, which talks about giving before receiving, be open to receiving, being authentic in your business. So there's 5. It's a very small, thin book. You could read it in one day. And the book completely changed my life, turned into a whole strategy for my business for relationship marketing. That's who taught me it all. But nowadays, building the empire that I've built and relationships I've built, I'm going to have to say it's probably going to be Extreme Ownership. Extreme Ownership is a great book that is really going to cover the part of taking responsibility. It talks about, it has a lot of military references in it, so hopefully people can relate to it, but it's about taking ownership as the leader of your business. Even if you're not building a business with employees, you are the leader in your life. You are the leader as a parent. You are the leader of your household. You are the leader of your community. And if you can take extreme ownership in everything that you do, there's zero chance that you won't be successful.
So it's Kevin. So it's Extreme Ownership: How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win by Jocko Willink and Lee. Yep, that's awesome. So
that's what it is. And I'll tell you, a bunch of groups I've been in have read that book as part of, book reading clubs, and my church even read it, and obviously they put a biblical twist to it, but it's definitely an amazing book to bring business leaders together. And one of the, of course, because I do a lot of coaching with real estate agents, I try and teach them, get out of your head that you're just a real estate agent. You're building a real estate empire. You're building a real estate opportunity. You're serving people. You're solving their hopes and their dreams. You're making them a reality. So if you start treating your business like a real business, you're going to see it's going to grow, and you're going to attract more people, and that starts with taking ownership.
Tremendous, outstanding, phenomenal answers to the 5 questions, Kevin. And Kevin, for people to discover more about the world famous Kevin Tacher, the best website for you would be?
TitleRate.com, or on any social media platform. Just put my name in there, and you'll find me, connect with me, and I'm happy to talk to anyone.
So that's Title Rate, the word title, TitleRate.com, TitleRate.com, or the world famous Kevin Tacher. That's Tacher, Kevin Tacher. You're awesome. And now, real quick, before we wrap it up, state identification. As you know, the exclusive sponsor for the Motivation Plus Marketing Podcast series, the 5 Questions to Success series, is the infamous, and I know her very well, John Di Lemme, professional Florida realtor, home staging designer, creating excellence, serving all families and serving the entire state of Florida from whatever aspect of real estate. You may have a loss of a loved one property. You may have a property that's unsellable, which we're known for. As you know, Kevin, you've done a title for ones on our market 14 months, 9 months. We have one right now, 2.5 years. You were in last week. We're actually going down there today to Ocean Ridge. Whatever we could do for you, Christy's here for you. And obviously also Christy was on the phone with someone from Tennessee that's looking to move to up in the Panhandle of Florida, a nice beautiful area off A30. I'm sure you know where that is, Kevin, up in the A30 area in Florida. So whatever you could do, feel free to call or text, and you call or text me directly at 561-847-3467, 847-3467. Kevin Tacher, any final words for this awesome podcast today?
No, I'm going to give a shout out. I mean, obviously, podcast is great. I'm going to give a shout out to, obviously, your show sponsor. You know, I've worked with over 100,000 real estate agents, and your team is really in that top, 0.0000001% of people that go above and beyond, have an understanding of what to do, treat people like they're actually people, not profit. And you do whatever it takes to get that deal done. So anyone thinking about it, I've even told people that have trouble selling their home. Even real estate agents have trouble selling them. Like, make a deal with Christy. She'll get it listed. She'll get it sold, and you'll at least get paid now instead of a year from now. So I highly encourage people to reach out, and I appreciate the opportunity coming on to share this with people. Because as you said, there's one person that's listening to it because it's for them. Like, this is for you, that you're listening to it. It's going to change your life, and that's what it's all about.
Kevin Tacher, thank you very much, and thank you for the words about Christy. I'll make sure she will hear them. She'll obviously hear the show. Thank you so very much, everyone. As Kevin just reiterated, this is for you. You're listening to this. This is your show, your notes, your podcast. Take action, change your life. God bless all of you. Have yourself the most wonderful, magnificent, incredible day ever, and we appreciate your time, appreciate you listening, appreciate you sharing, liking, subscribing, and all of that excellent action one takes in a podcast. Thank you, Kevin, very much. Have yourself a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day.